Today, we're doing a deep dive into n-400 interview mastery. We've analyzed thousands of case results and community comments to bring you the 5 most common traps that lead to RFEs or denials. Whether you're just filing or have your interview next week, this mastery guide will give you the confidence to handle the unexpected and secure your citizenship. The first trap is the yes-no question phrasing. Many applicants memorize the order of the questions on the n-400 form, expecting the officer to read them verbatim. However, officers are trained to verify your English comprehension. They might rephrase a "have you ever" question into a "tell me about a time when," or use synonyms for complex terms like persecution or totalitarian party. If you simply bark out no because you recognize the section but didn't hear the specific question, you've just fallen into the trap. This can make the officer doubt your English skills or, worse, your truthfulness. The key is to listen to the entire question. If the phrasing sounds different than what you practiced, it is perfectly okay and actually encouraged to ask for clarification. Say, "Officer, could you please rephrase that?" Or, "Are you asking if I have ever been in trouble with the law?" This demonstrates 2 things. You're listening carefully, and you have a functional command of the English language. Remember, the interview is a conversation, not a memory test. Don't let a simple change in wording derail years of preparation. Focus on the substance of what is being asked, not the sequence you memorized at home. Next is the good moral character curveball. This is where the officer probes beyond the surface of your written application. We often see viewers concerned about specific issues mentioned in our recent shorts, like child support or gambling. The trap here isn't necessarily the act itself, but inconsistency in how you report it. For example, if you mentioned paying child support on your form but can't provide proof of payments during the interview, the officer may flag this as a lack of good moral character. Similarly, legal gambling is fine, but failing to report the associated taxes can be a red flag. The officer might ask, "Have you ever failed to support your dependents?" Even if it wasn't a primary focus of your initial filing. This is why we always emphasize bringing your original police clearance letters and updated payment records. Even if a ticket was under $500 and didn't need to be listed, being dismissive or dishonest about it when asked directly is a character trap. Your goal is to show that you are a responsible, law-abiding member of the community who takes their obligations seriously. Be prepared to explain any gray areas with documentation rather than excuses. Consistency between your written form and your verbal testimony is the ultimate defense against this trap. The third trap involves tax transcript discrepancies. This is a huge area of concern for our audience, especially regarding migration taxes and foreign income. The USCIS officer will often compare your n-400 employment and residence history directly against your IRS tax transcripts. If you claimed you lived in New York for 3 years, but your tax filings for those years show a California address, you have a discrepancy trap. Or if you listed yourself as single on your taxes to get a higher refund, but are applying for citizenship based on a 3-year marriage to a US citizen, you are in serious trouble. Officers look for these mismatches to find fraud or a lack of good moral character. To handle this, you must review your last 5 years of tax returns, or 3 if filing through marriage, before the interview. Ensure the dates, addresses, and marital status align perfectly with your n-400. If there is a mistake, it's better to admit it and bring an amended return than to hope the officer doesn't notice. Bring certified tax transcripts directly from the IRS, not just your personal 1040 copies. If you owe taxes, bring proof of your IRS payment plan and evidence that you are making timely payments. Being proactive about tax issues shows the officer that you are responsible and transparent, effectively neutralizing this common trap. Trap number 4 is stumbling over the oath of allegiance questions. Toward the end of the interview, the officer will ask if you understand and are willing to take the full oath of allegiance to the United States. Many applicants get tripped up on the specific questions about being willing to bear arms on behalf of the United States. Some hesitate because of religious beliefs or a misunderstanding of what bearing arms entails in a modern context. If you say no without a valid pre-documented legal or religious exemption, your application will be denied. The officer is testing your loyalty and your understanding of the commitment you are making. You must also be prepared to explain what non-combatant service and work of national importance under civilian direction mean. These aren't just yes or no questions. The officer may ask you to define them in your own words to prove you aren't just reciting a script. Mastery of this section means knowing exactly what you are promising. You are promising to give up allegiance to any other country and to support and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States. If you have a sincere objection to military service, you must have your evidence ready before the interview starts. For most, a clear, confident yes to these questions is the final hurdle. Understand the weight of these words. They are the foundation of your new life as an American citizen. To wrap up, your N-400 interview mastery comes down to 3 things: preparation, documentation, and composure. Treat the officer with respect, wear professional business attire, and arrive at least 15 minutes early to clear security and settle your nerves. Bring an organized folder with all your originals, including those police clearance letters we discussed. If you encounter a trap, stay calm, ask for clarification, and stick to the facts. You've worked hard for this moment, and you are ready. If you need a personalized prep session or have specific questions about your case, use our AI immigration assistant at ImmigraFlow.us for real-time guidance. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for more deep dive mastery guides. Think clearly, file smart. Join us again next Wednesday for our next topic of the week, brought to you by ImmigraFlow.